The worst phone call of my life came at 2:17 p.m. on my daughter's 7th birthday. I want to buy your child. Who is this? For a second I couldn't breathe. I stared at my phone like it had just grown teeth. The voice on the other end was calm, heavily accented and disturbingly serious, like a man confirming a routine business deal. I'm going to buy your child, okay? My fingers clenched so hard around the phone I thought the screen might crack. No, I said, my voice coming out sharp and panicked. No, the hell you're not. Before I could say anything else, the line went dead. I jumped up from the conference table so fast my chair tipped over. My boss was mid-sentence about quarterly projections, but I was already running for the door. My hands shook as I called my wife while sprinting down the hallway toward the parking garage. Jenny picked up on the third ring, sounding stressed. Where's Brenda? Where is she right now? I was practically screaming into the phone. She's in an Uber on the way home from school. I'm stuck at work with this deadline and couldn't pick her up, so I ordered her a ride. I gave them your number to call when they arrived. Why? What's wrong? Her voice went from confused to worried. The driver just called and said he wants to buy our daughter. Call the police right effing now. I fumbled with my keys trying to unlock my car. Jenny started crying immediately. I could hear her telling her coworkers to call 911 while she sobbed. I tried to stay calm for her, but my mind was racing with every horrible possibility. Brenda was only 7. She just turned 7 that morning. She was tiny for her age and way too trusting of strangers. We just gotten her an emergency phone last month, but she barely knew how to use it. I called Brenda's phone over and over while speeding through red lights. Each time it went straight to voicemail with her little voice saying, "Hi, this is Brenda. Leave a message." My chest felt like it had exploded. I kept picturing her scared and alone with some creep who wanted to traffic children. Jenny called back hysterical, saying she'd given the police the Uber information and car description. It was a gray Corolla with some numbers she'd screenshot. The cops had dispatched units to look for it, but in a city this big that felt impossible. I was driving in circles around Brenda's school, hoping maybe they hadn't gotten far. 15 minutes felt like 15 hours. Every gray car made my heart race. Every kid with a backpack made me do a double take. I was about to completely lose it when Jenny called again. They found her. They found her. She was crying, but it sounded different. Meet us at this address. The police have the driver and Brenda is safe. I've never driven so fast in my life. When I pulled up, there were 3 police cars surrounding a gray Corolla. My heart nearly exploded when I saw Brenda sitting on the curb, perfectly fine, eating what looked like chocolate cake. She had frosting on her nose and was chatting with a female officer like nothing was wrong. The driver was a small, older man, probably in his 60s, standing with 2 other officers. He looked terrified and kept gesturing with his hands while trying to explain something. His English was clearly limited, and he kept switching to what sounded like Arabic or maybe Farsi. I ran to Brenda and scooped her up so tight she complained I was squishing her. I kissed her so many times on the cheek my lips went numb. Jenny arrived seconds later and we both just held her while crying. "Daddy, why are you being weird?" Brenda asked, pulling back to look at us. "Mr. Rashid gave me birthday cake. He said his bakery made too much and it would go in the garbage. Look, he even wrote my name." She showed us the small cake with Happy 7 Brenda written in purple frosting. One of the officers came over and explained what they'd figured out. Mr. Rashid owned a struggling bakery with his wife. When Brenda mentioned it was her birthday during the ride, he wanted to surprise her with leftover cake that would have been thrown out. He tried calling to make sure it was okay with the parents first, but his limited English made, "I want to give your child free birthday cake from my bakery" sound like, "I want to buy your child." The poor man was mortified when he understood what had happened. Through a translation app, Mr. Rashid kept apologizing over and over, showing us photos of his grandchildren with proud smiles and shaky hands. He had been trying to do something kind, something small, and instead triggered police sirens, panic, and the worst fear 2 parents can know. I didn't feel angry. I felt exhausted and unbelievably grateful. Brenda was safe. She was sugared up, happy, and more interested in the frosting on her nose than the 3 police cars behind her. We visited his bakery the following week, bought so many pastries I fed my entire office. When my boss later mentioned needing a reliable driver for airport runs, I didn't hesitate to recommend Mr. Rashid. Every year on Brenda's birthday, I still think about that phone call, about how a few broken words almost shattered our lives, and how easily fear fills in the gaps when we don't understand each other. Also, Brenda still talks about that cake, says it was the best birthday present she ever got.